Attention, brave viewers. This video features adults immersed in a spine-chilling horror RPG experience. The content likely includes supernatural elements, horror-related events, and potentially scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy. Us live. Howdy, friends and floor heads. It is Thursday night, and we have waited way too long to get back to Brindlewood Bay. So I cannot emphasize enough how excited I am to be back at this table. When we last left, all kinds of things were going on. We went to a bookstore, a rival bookstore to the Crow and Quill, to see a book signing by a rival of our favorite author. And Claudio Oro, who does kind of a salacious version of murder mysteries called the Black Glove Mysteries. And because somehow, some way, when my four mavens end up somewhere, we also end up with a body. And the woman, Scarlett Watley, who was supposed to photograph the event, was found in the alleyway next to the bookstore, dead. We poked around. We met a new deputy here in Brindlewood Bay. We got a chance to meet Erica Valentine. She came up from Boston. Seems different than our hunky deputy, let alone our sheriff. We got to interact with her a little bit. We got to spend some time with Claudio Oro and picked up a couple clues. So right now, here's our situation. We've got a complexity 7 mystery to figure out who killed Scarlett Watley. We've got 4 clues: leather pumps with a secret compartment, broken sapphire necklace that is costume jewelry, an anonymous message in perfect Italian that translates to "the ends justify the means," and evidence of a sharp decline in the sales for the Black Glove Mysteries. Almost, if not more importantly, though, we picked up our 9th void clue. Things really change when we get to the 10th void clue, which may or may not happen this episode. And then we've got 5 more void clues until we get to the finale, the final mystery for our mavens. Where we left off, Elsie was dealing with a roach infestation, which was our most recent void clue, inside of her bakery display case. My 4 mavens kind of helped her disperse and clean up and get rid of those roaches. It was a bit of a late night, so I'm going to take us to the next morning. We're going to do our vignettes. But first, who leveled up since episode 6? So, Navi, what did Jackie pick up?
Once again, bumping up sensitivity as things keep getting weirder.
Yeah, and as we start getting closer and closer to more and more void clues, having a good sensitivity, that's going to be an attribute we're going to see a lot of. So I think that's really smart. How about Elsie? What happened to Elsie?
I pulled one of the same, and I upped my sensitivity as well to a +1.
Who wants to give me my first vignette for this morning? A slice of life this morning.
Good.
All right, Geraldine, where are we?
Volunteers, tributes. You actually see Geraldine sitting outside in her backyard, relaxing with a glass of whiskey and reading over that stupid cultish book. Because she's like, there's something just that angers her about being thrown out of this book club that she didn't want to be a part of in the first place. But that's not the point here. The point is she's going to study this back, front to back, while Sweet Child of Mine is playing in the background.
Very nice. So we've got our morning whiskey, a book about the occult, and some Guns N' Roses. If we were to cut over to Elsie this morning, what would we see?
Elsie has not slept at all. She has been absolutely disturbed by her bakery case full of roaches and is absolutely deep cleaning the place. Like, the Crow and Quill is probably the cleanest it has ever been, ever. And she has been up all night just scrubbing. So she's currently up on a stool with a feather duster trying to get the tops of the shelves. And she's like, obsessively peeking behind everything and making sure there's no roaches anywhere. Floor is still kind of wet, and she's just in this kind of really somber, withdrawn kind of mode that her little sanctuary has been invaded by this force, whatever it is.
I'd be curious for you, Elsie, how, as you're processing this, do you in some ways, like, how much of this do you attribute to, like, there is something effed up going on, like this is unnatural, or negligence or embarrassment? I'm trying to get, because I would imagine it's a mix of all those things. So what
I
is
think
that
it's
mix
like a
like?
good 50-50. Like,
Yeah.
I know that I did not cause that. My standards of, while there's cats everywhere and it is somewhat dusty and lived in and loved, her kitchen is spotless. Her bakery is spotless. And so she's like, there's something wrong here. But she's also not quite wanting to believe that something is that wrong.
Right.
So she's looking throughout the entire space, trying to not only clean everything up, but find a logical reason that this might have happened. And
That
she is
makes
highly embarrassed as well.
Maud, where do we find you?
She is in the kitchen, utterly exhausted, with two children running around screaming for breakfast. Bacon is nearly burning in the pan. Eggs are like, the kitchen is a mess. You can tell Maud hasn't cooked for small children in quite a while. Her hair is normal, which is normally perfect, is just off kilter today. She's not as put out as she acts like she is, though. There's a sense that she did kind of miss this, but she is these kids are very wild, and she keeps looking at her phone going, just call and say you're coming to pick them up. Just call and say you're coming to pick them up. Just any minute.
All right, last but not least, Jackie, before we cut to everybody meeting back at the Crow, I want a vignette and find out what you did this morning.
So Jackie has a friend over. So Jacqueline, the mini Jackie, came over, and so we're standing in the foyer, and Jackie is gifting her a copy of that third edition of Antiquing in New England, and we're going together and looking at like an armoire that I just brought in, and the doors are slightly open. And it's kind of preternaturally dark inside. You can't see, even though the doors are slightly open. And we're just talking about it and looking at the details. And then as we turn and walk away, you see that the darkness inside the armoire shifts. And now you can see the light going through into the armoire.
Very nice. So here's a question I have for you, Jackie. All four of you met younger mirror versions of yourselves at this book signing, but it seems like Jackie is the one that is more interested in forming a relationship with this younger woman. Why do you think that is? What is it? What's going on with Jackie where I don't see my other mavens trying to make that connection? Does that make sense?
I think what it is that Jackie is kind of a slightly more introspective kind of person, and so to see someone who has strange common interests, where we can talk about things that no one else is interested in, I think that she really appreciates Jacqueline's company and being able to spend time with her. So they've probably visited relatively frequently since then.
So my one maven is up on a ladder, scrubbing the last shelf, making sure there's no skittering noises behind any books or between any bookcases or under any leather chairs. As the bell rings on the front door of the Crow, it still shows closed, but Elsie, I imagine you left the door open knowing that the three ladies, and we've got the other three mavens come in. Would someone, knowing how we left Elsie, would we bring anything with us to comfort her?
I think Jackie shows up with the most inappropriate gift possible, and it's like a roach motel.
I'm just gonna look at her and raise an eyebrow.
Geraldine would have commissioned one of her grandchildren to get her lovely friend special brownies.
Only don't eat the whole thing.
That's better. That's more like it. You should, Jackie, you should go to Geraldine for gift suggestions.
I come to you for brownies.
These are, you know what? Just don't eat them.
And Maud, did we bring anything for Elsie? Advice, something tangible? What did we bring?
2 small children.
Oh.
I look at him in panic.
Yeah,
And-
Maud is just like, oh my god, these kids have got to go home.
And
Wait, so I
Maud
shouldn't have given them the brownies?
Oh, jeez. So Maud, you come in and it's release the hounds because Jackson and Brayley vanish
Oh,
into the stacks.
Where are they
So you come
going?
in and like, where are they? They're gone.
and Maud looks distressed at this point.
If they break anything, you
Um,
have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what happened last
We're
time.
good. And Maud will just flop onto a seat, just very unceremoniously, just like, I am too old for this.
It is clean. You almost slide off of the leather.
Is it covered in plastic again? So like,
It's not. It's just been like super oiled up overnight.
And Elsie, I think Poe has been very distraught as he's watched you just cleaning, and he can sense your anxiety, and he's kind of kept to himself and been away. But the kids running around in the back of the store scares him back to the front of the store, and I'm imagining him jumping into Maud's lap and just with a "please keep them away from me" look on his poor little kitty face.
No.
I'm just going to scoop him up and tuck him under my arm. And I'm going to keep holding him.
So who has a plan?
Okay,
Not the
children
plan.
aside, we have a murder to figure out before this Boston woman came down, kind of encroaching on our territory, honestly.
Boston.
Right?
Ugh. Ugh.
I'd say let's check out Scarlett's photo studio.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
So Elsie, are we going to close the store? Or do we have somebody that that works the store when you're not around?
No, it's just me. I'm going to close it.
Okay.
Are we leaving the children
me.
in the bookstore?
That's
Yeah,
the next question.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're going to
No,
have
we're
to
not.
make
Yeah,
arrangements,
no.
mods.
Yeah,
Why haven't they been picked up
she's
yet?
on her phone. She's been like checking her phone like obsessively, trying to like waiting for her brother to call. And she
Well,
goes, I think I've got an idea. And she looks over actually there's just like you can just tell she is very, very like completely frazzled over these children. And she says, well, who did we get to watch him last night? I'll pay him double.
If you'll allow me, I'm going to have someone knock on the door of the Crow. And when you see them in the window, Elsie, I'll let you flag them in. And it is somebody we haven't seen in a little while. It's Amanda Shipley, the newly widowed Amanda Shipley. And
man.
she walks in and she says to you, Maud, she goes, Maud, I'm sorry I'm late. And really crazy, right? Because she just goes, children, and calm as water in a pond, the twins come out of the stacks. She says, this will not do. The first thing we're going to do when we get to the house is we are going to shower and we're going to brush that hair and we're going to brush those teeth. Maud, if you'll just pick them up this afternoon, I owe you a favor. And it's time I repaid it.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it, darling. Good luck. And she gives both of them the death glare as they walk by. Just that look of like.
And the stiff back and the dutifulness of these twins is something you've never seen before, Maud. And it's almost a little unsettling. I mean, granted, we know Amanda is a psychotherapist and stuff, but she has got just an energy about her that has completely tamed these children as they step out. So my four mavens hop into the hoopty, and we head a couple blocks over to Scarlett Watley's photography studio. It's a studio up above a like a small little general store that specializes in different types of candies. Let's have the landlord make arrangements to give you access. So you go up to the second floor studio and you're at the door.
all right.
Go ahead, Geraldine. I'll be right behind you.
Thank you.
We're
I
cheering for
appreciate
you.
it.
You've got this, Geraldine.
I will enter. Well, first see if it's unlocked.
Yeah, it was unlocked for you. The landlord let you know that they leave it
Awesome.
open. It's he thinks it's wonderful, the work that you four ladies have been doing and keeping Brindlewood Bay safe. And he had a bit of a soft spot for Miss Watley. So the idea that the Murder Mavens could potentially bring to justice whoever is responsible for this, he was more than happy to help. Now, Geraldine, when you and the other women walk in, it's a very rustic building and a rustic studio. She does not live here. This is strictly business. But what's neat is not only do we have like the exposed brick and some of the exposed pipe on purpose, you know, on the ceilings, there's also these luxurious satin and velvet, rich hues sofas with just these soft blankets and these each unique pillows. There's a warmth in this studio. You see hundreds of different photograph portraits all over the walls, all the different work that Scarlett did. And as we talked about in the first part of this mystery, Scarlett is kind of the go-to photographer here in Brindlewood Bay. She does all the weddings. She does all the engagement shoots. Everybody leans on her. Now, she also is known or rumored to specialize in some saucy photo shoots as well. So those in Brindlewood Bay that want something a little bit more titillating will often go to her as well. And you see kind of the main area where she does her photography. You see the soft box lights, a huge, beautiful analog camera, an intriguing collection, Jackie, over on the left of antique cameras. She's a bit of a collector of old cameras, and she's got them in chronological order, right? From the earliest versions of these cameras to some of the more modern. And what reminds you of Scarlett's nightlife, second business, is there's a few salacious pictures, tasteful, but showing more skin than an engagement photo or maybe a baby shoot would. I do need my mavens to help me paint the scene, though. We'll start with you, Jackie. Though she took event photography gigs to pay the bills, Scarlett's real work focused on eroticism, obsession, and the feminine. What do you see here that reflects these artistic fixations?
I think that she has like a big framed piece of photography that has a curtain valance over it, and the curtains are currently open, so presumably they would be closed when company comes over. But I think it is a woman with very tasteful, there's no nudity, but it's nice high heel shoes stepping on a man's face.
Very nice. Very nice. Elsie, you see that as well, but that's not the only thing you notice that tips you off to Scarlett's other endeavors. What do you see?
There is a standing wardrobe that is peeked open, and on top of all of the feathers and the tulle and the lace that's peeking out, there's also a few little leather straps that can be seen falling out the side of it as well.
Maud, what do you notice?
On her coffee table, and you wouldn't see it at first until you really looked at it, is Madonna's giant sex book, the giant coffee table book that she put out in like the late 80s, early 90s.
The black and white one, right? It was all black and white.
Yeah. I had a copy. It was cool.
Last but not least, Geraldine, what do you notice?
Looking around, at first it doesn't stand out, but you see the different chairs and different furnitures that kind of, if you're in the know, but they are specially customly made to act as other type of furniture.
So the four of you are standing there. You're taking this all in. We're in a dead woman's studio.
Well,
I'm going straight for the saucy pictures. I want to see who she's got dirt on in the entire town. Like, if anybody wants to kill her, it's going to be in the saucy aisle.
So as you kind of take things in, Jackie, I think what you're going to assume is this is the main studio area, and you can see there's a door that obviously leads to another room. Maybe that's where the business is, right? Where maybe the dark room might be, where she might keep folders and accounts tallied. So I'm going to have you start to walk through that door, but someone walks in from that door before you reach there. And it's somebody that you noticed back at the bookstore, Jackie. The person that walks through there is old Dory Mason. If you remember, Dory Mason was the chair of the Brindlewood Bay Lunch Club, a bit of the social epicenter of Brindlewood Bay. Someone who none of the four of you have ever quite warmed up to. Somebody that Salty Nancy noted as kind of being in charge of this dinner book club secret thing that Salty Nancy was trying to get Geraldine roped in on, and who was paying a lot of attention to the interactions between the four of you and our four younger women as well. She comes and she's holding a box that is easily built to hold a bunch of 8x10 photos. Oh, I was not told that I did not realize you'd be here. Excuse me, ladies. I'm sure that you've got very important business to do.
What's in the box?
Oh, these are some things that I had loaned Scarlett. I realized that, maybe I should pick them up. I did want them to get mixed up and tossed away by mistake. They're things that are important to me. But please, I don't want to get in the way of the Murder Mavens. So and she's trying to kind of negotiate her way to the door without being rude.
I
I would just
I
gently go in front of the door, like,
I'm gonna I think I'm gonna bump her. I'm gonna try to knock it out of her hands accidentally. Just oops. Try to. What's up?
Oh no! Oops.
So let's do a meddling. Let's do a meddling move. And Jackie, I think this is gonna be. I'm good with either vitality or composure. Vitality if it's more of a physical act. Composure if you're trying to be.
No, that's too base. I'm refined. It's oops, I slipped.
Okay. All right. So let's then. I think that would be presence then, if you're okay with that.
Let's do presents.
All right, let's do a meddling move with presence.
Oh no! Oh, partial. We're good.
Yep. We got a 7. You've got no negatives or positives. So you bump into her, and the cover of the box comes off, and scattered 8x10s.
I'm so sorry. Let me help you pick those up.
I've got it. She immediately gets down.
no,
on her
no,
knee.
we got it. We got it.
Help, don't worry.
Yeah,
She's
no worries.
furiously trying to pick
Oh,
these up.
absolutely. Let us help you. Of course.
Grim
And-
effort.
So sorry.
Many hands
it's a
make light
game-
work.
It's a game of hungry hippos, right? Where people are picking them up and she's grabbing it from you and grabbing the pictures from you and trying to stuff them into the box. And you get flashes. You get pictures of, that's definitely a lot of Dory in that picture. Not quite sure who Dory's with, but only you're not seeing the complete scenes of any one of these as she's grabbing them through. As she's busy doing that, though, Jackie, she's completely focused on Maud and Geraldine and Elsie, kind of trying to gather up the pictures. You see the box, which is now empty of pictures to her left. And when you look in there, you see a magazine that catches your interest. You snag that magazine, you take a peek at it, but kind of stuff it into your purse or maybe into your jacket. But on the cover, you immediately see it's Bonds and Bands, would be considered a vintage S&M magazine from the 70s. But you don't get a chance to get a real good look at it yet, but you kind of stuff that into your pocket. So the clue is an S&M magazine from the 70s. There's going to be a little bit more detail when Jackie gets a chance to look at it. Ladies, please, this is private and it's slightly embarrassing. So if you don't mind, if we could just put the pictures back in the box. She reaches over. So focused on making sure people see as little of these pictures as possible. She doesn't notice the missing magazine. And she starts stuffing these pictures in.
Oh my.
Don't look at me like that, Geraldine. I bet I could find
here.
pictures of you in Scarlett's office as well.
I promise you can't.
Those would be mine.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with it. Everything was tasteful.
No.
Everything was consensual.
It looks lovely and you look amazing.
She kind of goes, thank you. She kind of needed that a little bit. And she puts the box on. Are we going to let her walk out?
So how did you get in here?
Oh, Eddie, the landlord. He's part of the dinner club, and I just let him know that I had pictures that I did not want people to find. And I would appreciate it, ladies, if there are people in the lunch club that would be very disappointed in me. I don't feel like the four of you would be, but you know how some of the ladies in town are.
Yes. Yes, especially when you can't join groups.
And Geraldine, I maybe next year.
Love you.
Salty, really I just don't think you're a good fit right now, but I'm sure that'll change. Did you get the book?
Yes, I've been scouring it front to back.
And the history of this town is interesting, is it not?
It is. Yes. Yes, it is. I am getting more and more fascinated by it.
Well, maybe what we should do is maybe lunch next week, and maybe we can go over the book together,
I
alone
would love
at the
that.
house.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ladies, I wish you the best of luck. Scarlet deserves better than being face down in an alleyway. And if there's anybody who's going to solve the murder of Miss Scarlet, it'll of course be the four of you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
And she does. She steps out. We believe now we have the place to ourselves, at least for now.
Okay. I'm gonna lock the door.
Ooh, okay.
Like top lock.
Good call.
Put on a little latch. Because he's just letting everyone in here. This is a crime scene.
Jackie, do you want to take a peek at that magazine?
I do. It's the first thing I do as soon as the door closes and the latch just comes out. I'm like, flipping through pages.
How familiar are we with an S&M magazine from the 70s? I'm trying to get a sense of, you're seeing pictures, and I don't know if Jackie's seen this type of art form before, or is this old hat?
Well, Jackie's seen it all.
Okay. So Jackie's flipping through it like it's a good housekeeping. Right? In no way reacting to these to the photographs and the articles in this magazine. But what you do notice, Jackie, and it takes you a second or two, is you notice that there's about 10 pages in the middle that are torn out. And when you flip to the beginning of the magazine and kind of look at, in this issue we cover, or in this issue featuring, by process of elimination, you realize what has been torn out. And we'll find out what that is when we do our theorize move. But the clue is an S&M magazine from the 70s with a few pages torn out, which is now our fifth clue on Complexity 7.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to head into the office and scourge around. Like...
So, Geraldine, as you head into that back room, you see it's kind of sectioned off. You can see there's a dark room. And you can tell because there's a red light that she obviously would flip on and off to indicate whether actual negatives are being processed or not, because we don't want to let light in, of course. You can see she's got a huge computer editing studio. So as much as she has all of these vintage cameras and these old cameras to take, but you can see she does pretty modern work as far as editing, and she's very much connected and online. 4 screens, large, Photoshop open up in each one of the windows. You also see filing cabinets, and then you see cubbies where there are many of these 8x10 boxes. One, of course, missing. We know where that one went.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she is going to look to see if there's any boxes from any of our suspects.
So they're not labeled with any names. They're labeled with numbers. I think discretion is something that allowed Scarlet to be so successful. Let's do a quick meddling move with reason if we could, Gerald.
Yes, we can. Okay, that's fine.
So you start looking, open up that box. Oh, okay. And the next box and the next box, and we see some blood rushing to Geraldine's head as she goes from box to box. Seeing more of Brindlewood Bay than maybe she wanted to.
Yeah.
Maud, what are you doing?
I think Maud is checking out I think she goes to actually the windows and she is kind of like checking out what the view is from Scarlett's like studio, like onto Brindlewood. Like, what is she looking at, or maybe what like thinking that like Scarlett is a person who likes to take pictures and is aware of like, as a person who is a photographer, is sort of aware of different things that she's seeing. Maud is kind of like, well, what would be interesting to Scarlett here? Like, is there something maybe that Scarlett saw that is potentially connected to?
And Maud, there's of course the front windows that lead out to look at part of the main street of Brindlewood Bay, and Scarlett has got some very heavy duty double curtains, right, that allows her to close all light off so she can control the lighting when she's shooting here in the studio. You look out the front, you don't see anything of note, but there's a second window that leads to the alleyway on the side. So you go over to that window and you pull the light curtains away, and then the heavy curtains, have each one of them has taken a little bit of effort on your part to kind of pull them apart. And as you're about halfway opening the curtain, before you have a chance to look down at the street level, you hear a car door slam. You look down and you see what you didn't know existed, which is a Brindlewood Bay patrol car. Like, when did they get these? And stepping out of it
Mm-hmm.
is, of course, our new friend. You see her; she does not see you. She seems to be pulling some things out of the trunk and kind of getting herself all put together.
Girls, we got about 5 minutes before our new lady friend is going to be visiting us as well in here, so we should probably skedaddle.
Oh,
Is there a back exit?
Hold on. I'll buy you girls some time. I'm going down to talk to her. I love delaying this woman.
Jackie, you head down down the steps to the street level. Elsie, what are we doing while Jackie looks to be once again running interference?
I'll give her a high five as she walks past me. And then I'm going to go dig through the wardrobe.
So you open up that wardrobe and start digging through the clothes. Let's also do a meddling move with reason.
Ooh, okay. Oh, where's my moves? Meddling move. Reason?
God damn it.
Baby.
Do we have any crowns kicking around?
I think I still have a crown.
Be mindful that we want to save some crowns for the final mystery. We might be happy that we had them, but we also need to solve this mystery. So just out of curiosity, how many unchecked crowns do you have left, Elsie?
Void or queen or both?
They all are the same.
9.
What do we think, ladies? Do you think she has enough to burn, or should we hold on to those 9?
Burn it.
Yeah.
Burn
I think we're good. Do it.
So,
No risk, no reward.
Yeah.
all right. So go ahead and mark one for me. That's going to
Okay.
go
Yes,
from
I'm
a
gonna
miss.
put on a.
Yep, that's going to take you from a miss to a mixed success or success with complications. Elsie, you're pushing through the wardrobe, looking at the clothes, and as you start to like pull one clothes out, and maybe you got 1 or 2 on hangers, you realize that the wardrobe is deeper than you thought, and that there's something behind these clothes, and that forces you to pull the clothes away like a set of curtains. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
What you see can only be described as a shrine. And at the bottom of this wardrobe are some candles, a few copies of some Black Glove mystery books.
Oh.
And then possibly as many as a dozen pictures of Claudia Oro. Some of them are from magazines. Some of them are from originals. So ones that were taken by a camera. And then some of them are pictures of her and Frank, who obviously had booked some time with Scarlett, and some very explicit pictures. But this isn't like finding it in an 8x10 box, right? This is staged in the back of the wardrobe. So this is going to be your sixth clue, which is a shrine to Claudia's past modeling career.
Wow. I'm going to scoop the photos and stick them in my bag.
Okay.
With Poe, who has just been riding along in my bag because he knows I'm sad.
Elsie, how are you feeling kind of seeing this?
Fucking weird, very like off balance, kind of questioning her sanity a little bit.
I'm for the consequence, Elsie, I'm going to give you off balanced as a new condition. So I'm going to add that.
Okay. Makes sense.
You come out at the street level door, Jackie, and we hear the slamming of the door, and our deputy kind of getting her uniform all straightened out and starts walking towards there, and Deputy Valentine goes, "Oh, Miss Smith.
Is this your first time coming here?
Coming where?
I assume you're going to the apartment, right? Studio?
Is that where you came from?"
Of course. You're late to the show, sweetheart. People have been in and out all morning.
Whoa. This was, the sheriff assured me that this was secured. Are you telling me that people have been here?
All morning. Several. Which you probably want to get your notebook out. I'll give you the names. They were taking boxes out.
Please, yeah. Yeah, she pulls her notebook, a little, one of those like school age little ones with a wire, and she flips it open and pulls the pen out, and she goes, "All right, obviously, Jackie Smith, you have been up there.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume your 3 book club friends, are they up there now?"
She's up there for sure.
Okay, that's a Geraldine.
Know how to handle a crime scene. The ones you want to know about. And she just starts lying her ass off. Jackie's going to list everyone in town that she hates, starting with that broad that runs the cafe. Oh, she took a big box out. Mm-hmm.
So she's on her 3rd page, and and you see the sweat beading, like she cannot believe this has been happening. And she's writing it down, and she goes, "Eleanor Levinson, the owner of Foam? She was there too? Oh my goodness!" And
you do know that their pastime was risque photos, right?
No, I didn't realize that. Did anybody take anything out with them? How secure is this?
And of course, nobody wants their nudes flashed around town. Everybody's taking things all morning. You're going to be running this down for weeks.
Oh my God!
The crime scene is basically empty now.
I've got to go up. You bought like 4 minutes with her. She has filled a notebook, and she is now interested to start heading up. So give me an idea what everybody's doing.
There's a weird ass shrine in here.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna get my bundle of sage out of my bag.
All right. I think Maud stops her before she lights it. We can't do that here. Let's get out. Is there a back door?
Really needs a cleansing.
Does she have a?
There is a photo of a back door in the shrine, but I don't think it's the one you're talking about.
So it is an in and out door.
You get one.
Oh,
It's not
boy.
our way out.
Well
So,
done, Elsie.
Oh.
Well done.
I walked
Um,
right into it too.
Oh,
my gosh.
boy. But yeah, Geraldine, you do find a fire escape. So if the three of you would like to not cross paths with Deputy Valentine, you do have a way out.
One question. Does she have a laptop?
Sure. She definitely does.
I'm going to take the laptop, like maybe something important on it.
You take the laptop. Oh, poor Deputy
You guys
Valentine.
know we are menaces, right? We are
I'm gonna put
menaces.
it-
We are actual criminals.
Very
Are
much
we
in
Put it in
felony
Elsie's
territory
bag.
now. As we see our three mavens kind of sneak off, and Jackie, you've kept an eye on this fire escape. You see the three women come through the window and they start working their ways down, and that's when you kind of let get out of Deputy Valentine's way. Is there anything that we want to do before we let her go?
No, I'm just let me prepare you, and I hand her what's left of the BDSM magazine. I'm like, you're gonna just, and then I leave.
Oh, and she's and she's and she's trying to find a bag big enough. The next one's not big enough, and you kind of leave her confounded as she works her way, going to a very tainted crime scene. Where
It is not tainted.
Stop.
all right, so my four mavens reconvene street level by the deputy's car.
Whew. Let's slash her tires.
Ooh, I like it. Did she leave the windows down or the door unlocked?
I don't know, let we check the door. It is unlocked.
Yeah, I want to just kind of open up the door and see if
Oh.
she's found anything in there. Maybe look for other notes. Just
Mm.
stand in front of the
Is
door,
there
girls.
keys?
This is
Is there keys in the car?
I'm committed to how
I
bad
think
this
there's
is.
there are keys, Geraldine.
I
How
feel
can I
like we're
say no to
moving
that
into
question?
night move territory.
We're gonna steal the cop car. That's
Yeah,
what
so
we're
this is
doing.
going to be two things, right? So we're definitely going to have a meddling move, but before we have our meddling move, I do need Jackie. I need Jackie to do a night move for me. So Jackie, before we do that night move, I want this with reason. So what are you afraid is going to happen if you fail this roll?
So the most obvious thing is she comes down to sees that I'm in her car, which is super problematic. So like that's a concern, is that she busts us all standing around her car. But I feel like I can maybe work my way out of that. Maybe I'm more concerned that someone I know or care about is like some kind of a suspect or on like her shit list. I think that might be more of an issue.
Oh, that's interesting. So if you fail this roll, I think we'll see Sheriff Dalrymple pull up. And the four of you have been really his secret weapons that has allowed him to maintain his job here. And he will be extremely disappointed to see the four of you looting the brand new deputy cruiser that he bought for Deputy Valentine. But of course, it's going to be worse than that, because not only will Dalrymple see you there, but I think that when Deputy Valentine finds out, she's going to start asking some questions about the people on the list. She will realize the degree of lying and deception that you layered on there. And I think you're going to jail, Jackie. I think
I'm always going to jail.
Yeah, I think you're going to jail. I think we have been dancing around this long enough. So you will be really kind of blacklisted, I think, by Sheriff Dalrymple and the sheriff department here at Brindlewood Bay. And there'll be very specific times of the day that the other Mavens will be able to meet with you and see you. So let's go ahead and do that night move. I would like that with presence. With either presence or reason. I'm fine either way.
All right, I'll give you a reason. It's okay. We have crowns. So many crowns.
So many crowns.
Oh, we don't need it. 12.
Oh, ain't a 12.
I'm like the best at burglary.
Like I have never.
Yes.
Unbelievable. So
Yes.
you go in there, Jackie, and you start poking around. And what you end up finding is a notebook. And it's a notebook that was in a place that it's obviously a place that whoever put that notebook there did not want it to be found. So as you're poking around, Jackie, where do you think you find this notebook? It's not in a place that would have been misplaced or slid between some seats. This notebook is in a place that whoever put it here did not want it to be found.
No, Jackie knows hiding spots. So she reaches underneath the seat in front of her and slides her hand up under the bottom of the seat until she finds a pocket that's been kind of like sewn into the bottom of the seat, and that's where she pulls it out.
You pull that out, and you look at the notebook. You quickly peek inside of it, trying to be quick, and you see it's a ledger of transactions. You don't have a whole lot of time to look at it, to be discreet. So again, we're putting it in a place, maybe the never-ending purse for Elsie's wearing. But we find a place for it, so we have a chance to look at it later. In fact, if it's okay with you, Elsie, I'd like Jackie to be doing that, maybe taking it, because this is a big ledger, right? This is an accounting ledger.
Wow, okay.
Not something she could easily hide. And there's people walking the streets. We've got Deputy Valentine. Jackie, you go to kind of gesture to Elsie. Can I put it in there? And
Yeah,
Elsie,
I'll
you
hold it
open up
open.
your purse.
Yep.
Jackie, as you slide this ledger into the purse, you look up to Elsie to kind of like go, whew, that was close. She's a mannequin.
No.
She's got a plastic face,
Oh.
flesh-colored eye sockets, what is obviously a wig, clothes that aren't quite fitted. She's got those weird angled wrist mannequin hands. And that's what's holding the purse open right now.
I look. I do the darty eye thing. What are the other girls doing? Are the other girls?
Everybody's fine.
Everybody's fine. Reach out, poke her right in the forehead, really like trying to knock her over because I think she's a mannequin.
You go to touch Elsie's forehead, and the minute your flesh touches the cold plastic of the forehead of this mannequin, she falls away to dust.
I scream.
And as you scream, reality comes back. Definitely need a night move. I'm going to need a night move with composure. What are you afraid is going to happen if you lose your composure right now?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh no! I think I'm the most worried that the girls will see that there's been something wrong with me for a while, because that seems like a lot that's built up for her to just completely do that, right? So I think that's the fear, is that all of a sudden I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen, where the girls will definitely see this. I'm going to tell you what was worse than that, even though you succeeded, you dirt. But it was going to be worse than that, because I was going to have your next failure on a night move cause a stroke. But you succeeded. So that would not be happening. You're able to keep your composure when you realize this is yet another one of those visions, another one where reality is shifting on you, Jackie. And you're seeing these disturbing images over and over again. And sometimes it's a shake of the head. Sometimes they linger longer. You're hearing Elsie talk about these things and about these roaches, and just, we're now at a point, Jackie, where I am not sure how you're able to rationalize what's happening. So I think my question for you, so to give us some insight on what's going through Jackie's mind, this could be one of two things, potentially. There might be a third, which I'm open to, which is Jackie thinks reality is changing, or Jackie thinks Jackie's not well. Where do we think Jackie is in light of all of this?
I think so. Jackie thinks that Jackie's not well. Jackie is she's not wanting to talk about it. She's not wanting to admit it to anyone else, but she has been embracing the not well for a while. So watching the shadow figure that's constantly lurking around her and finding ways to paint it or that's part of her coping mechanism. But I think she was fairly convinced that it was her, just kind of losing it, get a little old. But then things started happening to the other girls with the cockroach situation, which was so abnormal that, and we also had the other weird cockroach not too long ago, the way that we had shared that experience. So I think we're coming full circle back around to maybe Jackie's okay, and reality is what's not well. But I don't think that's fully happened yet. I think she's very torn.
Elsie, what's your reaction to
I'm gonna scream back.
as Jackie drops that in, taps your forehead?
Ow!
We have the two of you just screaming.
Maud says,
What are you doing?
girls, listen, as someone whose felony days are long behind them, we should get going before anybody sees us.
Yep.
Whatever's going
Yep.
on here. Let's go.
We're gonna talk later.
You guys head back to the car. We've got our laptop. We've got this ledger, which we haven't had a chance to look at before. We saw what was missing from the 70s S&M magazine, so we know what that is, even though that clue's not in our possession anymore. Jackie, you get there to the door, and as you are about to get in the car, coming out of the coffee shop that Frank owns, who is, if you remember, is the lover of Claudia, right? This Italian coffee shop. Underneath it is the club, kind of that underground nightclub there. Stepping out is Jacqueline. And she goes, "Oh, Jackie, good morning."
You and the Italian.
Stallion.
I-
Stallion.
Woo! I like that.
No. And to be clear, this is the coffee shop that's open for business. It's not Frank's apartment. She goes, "Oh no, I tried that foam place. That place is awful. It's a tourist trap. This place has the most authentic drinks ever. In fact, Jackie, I had so much fun. And you've been so kind to me. Can I buy you a coffee?"
I look at the girls. Coffee? Girls? Coffee? Oh, come on. We have plenty of time for crime. Let's go.
All right.
Fine.
Do you think they'll notice Poe?
I don't know. Where is we
Stuff him
brought
in the
Poe
bag.
with us?
He's in my bag.
Put Poe in the
He's
purse.
smushed up against the ledger.
I don't think anybody would notice Poe in there. So you
Gonna
guys come
sneak
into
him in.
this coffee shop, and let's start off by really describing this coffee shop. So the coffee shop, it's owned by Frank Francini, who of course we've met before. He was at the signing. We know that him and Claudia have a relationship. It's really why she came here to Brindlewood Bay to kind of finish things up. It's called the Umarel, and as you walk in, it's got a smokiness smell to it, but it's not cigarette or cigar smoke. It's that beautiful dark roast smoke, because he roasts his own beans here. And there's a sign with a very distinctive logo that has the boot of Italy on it, and it's a silhouette of a man in a like 1930s Sicilian cap on it. You can see the back door that takes you to the club. It's unmarked, but everybody in Brindlewood Bay who knows that after 9 o'clock we can go there to go down to the club below. There's vintage photographs and artwork all over the place. Some of it is of old Italy, and some of it are parts of Brindlewood Bay, but they're very artistic, very um framed in a way and composed in a way that makes Brindlewood Bay seem older than it really is. And some of them, that Scarlet has taken as well. But let's paint the scene. The Umarel is named in honor of its owner, in honor of the owner's Bolognese heritage. He prides himself on the aesthetic of the European sophistication. Geraldine, what touches of Italian chic envelop you as you enter?
I am thinking that there are a plethora of very well done photos of Italy, of old of a cafe that their family had in the past, sitting right behind the cash register, and with that first dollar that they've made in this cafe as well.
In fact, what I think you'll notice, and maybe Jackie especially notices, there are fixtures in some of these photos that you see are fixtures here. So little things like cabinet door handles that obviously were brought across from the old shop to the new shop that he opened here. I love that. Maud, what do you see that gives you a sense of Italian chic here inside of this Umarel?
I think that there is a handcrafted sign that says in Italian, and Maud doesn't read Italian, but if you read Italian, it would say, "If you're here, you are home." And it's kind of in a nice, like quiet, like comfy corner of the shop.
Jackie, what do you see that just screams Italian chic?
Um, I I think I'm gonna do me a stereotype. I think that there's a like Mary statuette on the wall with a rosary tied around it, and it's
No
a
question.
very nice rosary. Like this was probably an heirloom.
Mega Catholic. Mega Catholic. Last but not least, Elsie, what do you see?
Oh, in that little corner with the beautiful Italian sign are these absolutely gorgeous twinned high-backed leather overstuffed chairs that are like cushioned and studded all around the outside, and it's done with this really like old world brass fittings all the way around them. Just very well made, handcrafted, beautiful, luxurious furniture.
So Jacqueline leads you guys to kind of halfway into the shop. There's an area which has chairs, like 6 or 7 beautifully comfortable chairs with a raised central table to it, but not one that you would sit in like a booth, right? One that you'd have to lean over to put your drink on. So it's very casual, very nice. And as she's leading you there, you can see Frank arriving. So Frank is tying his apron on. It looks like he's about to get started. He sees you ladies, he gives you a quick wave, and he slaps 2 of the baristas and says, take care of them, take care of them. They're honored guests. And so you have just this army of employees that are coming and taking your order, and there's a bit of chaos happening, taking drink orders. Geraldine, they're trying to explain to you that they can't put whiskey in coffee, that they don't have alcohol. And Jacqueline kind of leans over to you and says, I need to talk to you about something. Can we, do you mind stepping up back with me? It's kind of sensitive and kind of private.
Yeah, sure. We gotta go powder our nose, girls.
So she goes back with you, and you walk past the velvet door that leads downstairs. You walk past the ladies' room into the small kitchen. He doesn't cook or do anything here, so it's not a full kitchen. It's more of a place for him to take in baked goods and package them to bring them out front. She comes back out into the alley, and Jacqueline looks at you, Jack, and she goes, I'm absolutely distraught,
What happened?
and I have nobody to talk to, and I don't know what to do. And,
Lay it
and
on me.
she's holding the book you gave her.
Mhm.
And she said, I don't know how to explain this. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And maybe it's just easier to show you. She steps back, Jackie. And as she steps back, she's got these beautiful, like stylish, almost vintage looking, but they're not old glasses. And you watch the glasses begin to fuse into her face. And as those glasses fuse into her face, her eyes begin to glow. The book starts on fire. You can feel the heat coming off of it. So unlike all of the other things we've seen up to this point, the mannequin, the blood in the mirror, the eyeballs, it's just a shake of the head, and you're standing there, and that's not changing anything. The flames, like tendrils, start to work up her arm, and you begin to see her skin melt like soft wax. She looks at you, Jackie, and she goes, I didn't know how to say this, but you've become a problem. I think we need a 10-minute break. We'll be back. So, Jackie, what's in front of you now is no longer Jacqueline. What's in front of you now is something holding a burning book, engulfed in flames, flesh melting like soft wax, sloughing and dripping. What were glasses now have become wide, glowing yellow eyes. Why'd you have to be a problem?
So, since this is the second event of the day, it doesn't have the same gravitas. So Jackie's like, she's kind of like pinching her nose and closing her eyes. She's like, hold on, I'm having a moment. She's still not 100% in tune with what's happening. She's like, just give me 1 second. I'm not gonna look. What's the problem? What are we talking about?
You feel the heat coming off of this body. You close your eyes, kind of pinching under the glasses. And I'm going to cut away to a darkened room. We see a young man, maybe 15, definitely not even 16, kneeling on the ground in this dark room with his eyes wide and a face of unfettered terror. There's a second person in this room with him. And this person is wearing a white cloak with a ceramic, statuesque mask and is slowly walking in a circle around this young man. And as they're walking around, you can't see who it is, they're slowly winding a rope around his body. He seems unable to fight this despite the terror you see in his face. And we're seeing this rope slowly going around this young man. In front of him, this person sets down a woven basket, like one of those baskets that you would see that are kind of Eastern, with a thick wove that has a small top, a wide brim bodied, back down to a small top. We realize that this rope is not being tied around this man by our walking statue. The person that's walking around them is just releasing the rope, and the rope is tying itself around this young man. And we're seeing moments where the young man is just slowly being pulled into himself. As this person walks around him, we see his hands now getting drawn into him. We're seeing blood as the skin is starting to break as this rope is tightening. And an eyeless serpent rises out of the basket. It strikes the man in the throat. And we see a greenish smoke emitting from the bite. He falls over onto his side. This serpent, this eyeless serpent, turns to ash. The ropes that were around his body turn to ash. Person takes off their mask. Salty Nancy. And she says, "This'll stop." We cut back to the alleyway. We see Jackie doing this. And suddenly we realize that what we just witnessed was happening in real time, because Jackie, you cannot move. Every joint in your body locks. You feel a pain in your neck. You feel constricted and immobile as this burning effigy is standing in front of you. Somehow you still can talk, but you cannot open your eyes. You can only feel the heat.
Oh, that's a whole lot of awful. No, I'm sticking to my. Just I can talk. I'm kind of stuck and paralyzed. I think that Jackie's going full blown like pressing on the composure thing. What did you say was a problem?
You are the problem.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Continue to be a problem. Here's the night move you've been waiting for. We're going to need a night move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail this? What are you afraid is going to happen if you lose your composure?
Well, shit, I'm afraid I'm having a stroke. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. This is because everything's been like kind of dialing up and down, like maybe up to a 7 and then back down. But now it's like at a 10, and then they broke the knob off. So like it's not. This is bad.
I think we'll have a medical event. Definitely. I think that only makes sense. We seem to be on the brink of it before. But unfortunately, it's going to be worse than that, because I think this thing intends on consuming you. So I think this ritual that must have happened in real time that has frozen you, the heat of this thing is getting hotter, and not because it's getting bigger, it's because it's getting closer.
Jackie doesn't want to be food.
So let me have a night move with composure.
Where's the button? There's the button. And composure. Come on. Yeah. I can't shake Jackie.
This is like the third time in a row, right? Holy cow. I need you to tell me what's happening. What does Jackie do? Jackie is going to walk away from this safe.
Mm.
But I want to know how. You are frozen. You are locked. This unworldly voice is telling you that you are the problem and you have become a problem. The heat is coming closer as this body is coming to consume you. What happens?
I think it's something really mundane. I think somebody opens the back door to come out and have a cigarette, and when the door swings open, like the paralysis stops.
One of the baristas throws the door open. We can see those large white restaurant semi-translucent trash bags just full of recyclable cups in both hands. This is happening kind of off to the left, so this person doesn't see it, but the door flies open. You guys are kind of near the dumpster. The blast of conditioned air that comes out of the coffee shop, the back kitchen area, the flapping of the door knocks you. The door knocks you into the wall, somehow breaking this spell that apparently Salty Nancy was casting somewhere. And like ashes, Jacqueline is gone. So the wind hits her or it, and she burns away almost immediately. You're on the ground. The young woman, she's maybe 14. She goes, "Oh my God, I am so sorry." And she's got 2 bags of trash.
Go get my girls. Get me Geraldine. I need her whiskey.
The old ladies you came in with?
Yeah, yes, all of them.
So she drops the bag. She can hear the urgency in her voice. Maud, Geraldine, and Elsie, you guys are sipping coffee, enjoying it. Frank is just being an incredibly kind, warm host. He's, if you were to physically describe him to somebody, it would not convey how handsome he is. He's just got a way about him. He's not physically handsome, right? There's just a way that he handles himself and carries himself, and the warmth that he gives, that all 3 of you are like, boy, I can see why Claudia is with him now. I may not have seen it when you saw him next to each other because it looked like she was way out of his league, but now that he's put on the charm, okay, now I get it. Yeah. Even though, granted, Geraldine, you've seen more of Frank than the other 2 women have because, or no, it was Elsie that found the, I'm sorry, it was Elsie that saw much of Frank before. So maybe there's another aspect of Frank that made it make more sense too for Claudia, which only Elsie knows about. The young girl comes out and she goes, "Something's happened. I hit your friend."
You know, run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Full
get
speed,
up out of
full
this.
tilt.
As fast as I can.
Yeah, we hear the clinking of the old Italian cups and saucers as the coffees go down. The 3 of you make it outside. You see Geraldine. Where do they see Geraldine? Or Jackie, I'm sorry.
So since I was over by the trash can, what happened, and then the door, I just kind of like sat up, and I'm leaning up against, like I'm leaning against the trash can, which is probably how you know it's bad, because that's not dignified. But I am I'm leaning against that trash can, like I'm not getting up. I'm
gonna
moving.
run to her and get her up. Get her up. As soon as I see her down, I'm gonna instantly go into protective mode and picking her up and dusting her off, looking her over. What happened? Are you okay? What's going on?
Grab her shoulders. She caught fire. She melted, and then the door hit me, and she turned to ash.
Who?
Wait,
Did you see Jacqueline come back inside?
No.
Because she turned to ash.
Part of the alley is still tacky, the asphalt that was melted by this thing, and you still see the ash. So there is all physical evidence of the reality of what you just saw, Jackie.
I'm gonna go check out the ash.
So
I
you
think
go to the
Maud
ash.
is looking at Jackie.
No, go ahead.
physical signs of a heart attack, a stroke, anything, looking for paralysis or any
Yeah.
dilated pupils or
All of that's happening.
Close to Jackie too,
Eyes
yeah.
are dilated. You check her pulse. It is racing. She's warm to the touch. Her body's warm to the touch. You have to actually exert a little bit of force just to move her wrists, right? So she's not paralyzed anymore, but she's stiff, and not stiff like I wake up every morning because I'm 51 years old, like stiff when somebody else tries to move like her joints.
Wow.
Geraldine, you like see Jackie look over as she spoke about this burning thing, and you can see the melted area of this asphalt, and you go over that ash, and all you smell is sulfur.
It smells like ass. Is it
Rotten eggs.
So, yeah. She melted?
Like wax. She melted like wax.
Did you get in my brownies?
I would
I
love
told
one of your
you.
brownies.
I'll reach in my bed.
Don't give
Mom-
her. Wait.
Mom is,
Oh, I'm breaking off a corner and handing it to
Wait a second.
just a corner.
Maud is already
Yes.
on the phone with the town doctor. She's not calling the hospital. She's not calling an urgent care or anything. Her last husband and the town general practitioner were good friends, golf buddies. So she's already on the phone to him immediately, like, I need you to come out here and check something, please. Or can we come to you?
Yeah, and immediately the nurse at the small office knows you and says, "Yeah, let me get Dr. Stevenson." And Patricia Stevenson, who is a close friend of your passed away husband, they would golf together. She would golf from the men's tees, of course. She hears the urgency and she goes, "No. I'll close up and I'll be there. I'll be there quick."
I'm
All right.
gonna get up and go get Jackie water and come back.
You
Drink
don't.
this.
You don't understand. I don't need a doctor. She caught. It's on the ground still. How? Look! It's right there.
Jackie, hey,
I'm still going to get you checked out, honey.
hey, I believe you. There's weird shit going on.
My friend disintegrated. I
There's
don't know what to do with that.
in my baking case. There is something is wrong.
There is
Just
something.
like that. It's just like the damn cockroaches. Everybody knows there's not a cockroach in sight in your bakery, but they were everywhere. It's just
Right.
like that, except for
And there was a rat
a person
with an
melting.
eyeball in its mouth. There's been all kinds of crazy shit going on.
I lean in, and earlier when I poked you, it's because you had turned into a mannequin. And when I poked you, you fell apart. And that's why I screamed in your face. I'm sorry.
That was weird. I was really confused.
Keep in mind, Maud has seen none of these things.
Oh, that's
Maud
right.
has not had a single void clue. Not one. Maud
I've
is looking
had-
at the
Miss
three of
Geraldine
you
had one?
like you have.
One or two.
She's had one.
Oh.
Maud is looking at the three of you like you got into Granddad's moonshine. She is very
definitely like
concerned at
focused
the
in on
moment.
Jackie. Yeah.
So I need to
right.
focus on Maud for a
Hmm.
second here. So Maud, what's happening right now?
I think she is legitimately she's struggling because she trusts her friends and she knows that her friends have been rational, people through this whole thing and that they wouldn't just make things up, and they also don't have a history of being hysterical or strange. So this is very, very, very odd to her. Because there's part of her that is just like, I do not believe a damn thing they are saying. And then the other part of her is like, my friends don't act like this, so something is wrong. And I think she's more convinced than ever that we need to see a doctor to rule that out.
Okay, I might have seen one weird thing, the fucking candy wrapper filled with human thumbnails. That's about it.
That was the
Oh,
first
what?
thing.
Nothing. Yeah. It was near
Something-
it was near Mr. Shipley's body.
Something is happening. There's some sort of weird thing, and I just don't like it. And she's like pulling out, like she's got her sage like like pulled out like a selenite wand, and has got it like all wrapped up, and goes, something is happening.
Well, hear me out, right? I've been trying to get into their little fucking group.
What group?
And well, you know, Salty Nancy's
group?
group. She I don't know.
The
it's like a
lunch
hidden
club.
She
secret
introduced me
group.
to Jacqueline. It was her group that introduced me to Jacqueline, huh?
She did introduce
All
us
of
to
them.
her.
All of the younger weird.
Are there other us's out there?
Mine disintegrated, so there can be only one.
Did ours
Well,
disintegrate?
I didn't go and hang out with a younger version of myself.
I didn't either. I just saw the thing with Salty Nancy.
Right? It's this book I've been reading. It's about the history of this place. It's weird.
Why haven't you told us about this?
Because I wanted to be in the secret club. That's why. And I was
You could have
going
gotten into
to.
the secret club without us. Well, you could have told us you were going to be in a secret club. We wouldn't have told anybody.
Well, I would have told you after I got into the secret club.
You could have told us you were trying.
We could have helped.
It's a bunch of dead people around. I didn't have time to really tell you.
And Geraldine, if it's okay,
Fair.
I'm gonna have you relate some of the things that you found in that book.
Yes.
Some of those things that you read that you have been, I think, processing. I'm not sure how Geraldine will process it. That's up to Geraldine. But we've talked about Salty Nancy shared the story about the bizarre Leviathan type thing that was found. We heard about the destroyed Nazi submarine, the Nazi that was then washed up on shore several days later, who ended up killing himself. Couple stories that you came across, Geraldine, was the story about how in 1967 there was this hippie commune that sprung up just outside Brindlewood Bay that's documented in this book that was given to you. It was, during the Summer of Love, and the commune members, they kept to themselves. They would occasionally come into Brindlewood Bay, for supplies. And there's talk in the book that there was rumors that were circulating about these hippies that were outside of town, and that they were satanic and they were doing rituals and things like this. And nothing was taken seriously until one day, a young boy, George Maplethorpe, he went missing, and the town blamed these hippies. And a very young Ralph Dalrymple led the citizens on a march to this commune to try to find little George. And it's not real clear because there's no official documentation of it, but that book hints that there was violence. No one will say what happened other than the commune is no more. The whole thing was burned to the ground, and that young George was never found. The other story you relate is the final entry that was in the book. And this was just a few years ago. This was New Year's Eve, 1980. And oddly, for some reason that year, New Year's Eve, there seemed to be some sort of nexus collection of doomsday prophets that just suddenly showed up in Brindlewood. And they held this massive end of all things party all throughout town. And the next morning, New Year's Day, there were some people that remembered these doomsday prophets that were screaming on the streets about the end times and about the rise of what's under Brindlewood Bay. But there were other people, husbands and wives, that disagreed. Wives that would remember this. Don't you remember that crazy person that was outside while we were having dinner? And the husband will go, honey, what are you talking about? We had 2 cappuccinos and then we went home. So Geraldine shares all of that with you.
She's going to add on. I didn't believe any of it. I'm like, it's just a psychotic book club. I was like, oh, this would be cool to get into and then tell my friends about. But yeah.
Yeah. It seems crazy, but like, so does all this other stuff that's going on.
Well, I didn't think anything of it until Jacqueline went into Ash.
Yeah.
And Elsie, your memory is right, because Salty Nancy introduced you into 4 young women. It was just Jackie that kind of took a shine to her mirror image, Jacqueline. And I'll add details on the other women that you met in the journal, so we have it for next time. But you have not seen those other 3 women. You've only really then had continual interaction with Jacqueline. I need some sort of idea of what the 4 of you are going to do as you're in this alleyway behind this coffee shop. And you've taken this all in. Dr. Stevenson has shown up, Maud, and is checking out Jackie.
I'm going to sit next to Jackie and hold her hand the entire time and just give her little reassuring pats.
Tell me
And
you brought your
slip her
medicine bag with you.
another- Yeah, slip her another piece of brownie. Just little bits, gauging how she is after like 15, 20 minutes.
Maud is going to pull Geraldine to the side while that's happening. And Geraldine, still being the person who feels the most like steady at the moment, is just going to say, I don't know what kind of haints and boogers we got going on here, but I am very worried about Jackie. Do we continue to do this if it's potentially dangerous? Like real dangerous? Like we've been having fun, but dangerous?
Honestly, I think we're too far in.
If I accept that everything they're saying is true, and that's a big if, understand, what do we do about whatever this is? I can solve mysteries about people dying. I can't solve mysteries of cockroach swarms and toenails and people burning to death. And
I'm not going to share this with the other Mavens, of course, but I am worried. Because let's say, and I'm still skeptical, don't share that with them. I am skeptical. But there's still 3 young of us out here. And let's be honest, we've never seen who they are, where they came from. They just appeared. Ether, Denise, Diana, whatever the hell her name is. Introduce them to us.
well,
So
why don't we regroup and finish what we started, and then we can deal with whatever crazy shit is going on. Just figure out who killed Claudia, and then we'll get on with it. And
Claudia's still alive, but I know what you meant.
not Claudia. Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, Scarlet.
Scarlet.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scarlet. Yeah.
The mystery's not
And
over yet. So.
I I think that's
Maud's,
gonna be a good
Maud's
idea.
very distraught at the moment. Okay.
I honestly think that's a good idea because I think it's weird. I never thought I would say I'm used to murders at this point and kind of figuring them out. And then we have roaches and burning use of us, and who else knows what the hell anyone else saw and didn't say anything.
I'm going to cut real quick, Jackie, to you and the doctor. She's a kind woman. I think she's your general practitioner. I think you've come to her for a long time. She's doing the pen light into your eye, and she goes, honey, I think you're going to be okay. I'm going to prescribe you some blood pressure medicine. I need you.
Blood pressure
Um,
medicine. I don't. Give me the Xanax.
That's fine, honey.
Anxiety
I'll write you a
meds.
script for Xanax.
Yeah.
Can you tell me like what happened? Do we need to go to the hospital? Do you feel like that you had a heart attack? Did you have a visual psychosis break? Like, what happened?
I think the edibles have kicked in at this point. The brownies have kicked in. So
Yeah.
Jackie is one with the universe again. And she's like, no, I'm overstimulated. I had a really busy day. I came out and I had an argument with my friend when the door swung open and hit me and knocked me down. And for a moment, I was kind of out of it, and I made the ladies panic. So I'm so sorry you had to come down here because I fell down. This is embarrassing.
And that's fine, Jackie. And I'm going to have Davis call you tomorrow. I want to I want you have an appointment with me next week. And let's it's been a couple years since we've done a full physical. I'd like to run a few tests, take some blood and things like that. And she kind of turns to, so the rest of you can hear this. She goes, I think Jackie's going to be okay. Let's cut back a little bit on the caffeine. Elsie, I'm fine with your prescription. And what you've been
I need a
administering.
refill as well, please. If you can just call that in, that'd be great.
She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit at you. At this point, I think all my mavens need a minute. So we're going to cut to credits. We'll be back on the other side.
Ah.
So I've been warning everybody. Like, stuff changes when that 10th clue shows up. And this game, the way I've read this game is it takes a hard right turn. Because what's been happening up to this point with the first 10 void clues is a bubbling, right? The midwives of the fragrant void are starting to get an awareness of the four of you. They're starting to realize that the four of you could potentially become a problem for their plans. And once that 10th clue shows up, that's when suddenly we see the midwives go on offense a little bit. They have laid many mines, many plans, and what we will likely start seeing is more direct conflict with the midwives of the Fragrant Void. I've got to start with you, Navi, because you ended up inadvertently kind of being the target of this. I was committed to a doppelganger being our first hard move on my part as the keeper, and it was going to be, tied to the 10th clue, and it happened, of course, to be you that found the 10th clue. I don't want you to feel targeted. I hope you're not. You're doing this to yourself with your die rolls. Boy, I sound like an abusive husband. Like, why did you make me do this?
You did it to yourself.
Nice use of language there, Shipman. But so I want to do thoughts, stars, and wishes. So let's start with thoughts. And thoughts can be about what we experienced in the fiction, mechanically as a player. Like, what are your thoughts right now?
I actually really have enjoyed the overall build arc of the story, like the building, and then all of a sudden hitting that hard right turn. Because I don't think if a game started at 10, it wouldn't have anywhere to go and you'd burn out on it. But this has been a really good build. So when it like really dialed up, we'd seen it coming. It had been forecasted. So it felt really impactful. And I can't wait to see how it unfolds and how we go forward. So I think that that and your storytelling throughout has been like phenomenal. Like,
oh, good.
Phenomenal.
Good. That's a huge compliment. Thank you. Yes, DZ, we're definitely doing stars and wishes from those watching live, and for those watching the replay of this, I wanted to see stars and wishes in the comments on YouTube. So you'd let me know what your stars and wishes are. So let's go with DZ's star was Jackie in the scene with the deputy. That was DZ's star. So we'll wait to see what DZ's wishes are. But what was your star or stars, Navi? So where did you feel most in the game?
Lord, it's
what
been
worked for you?
The whole episode's been really fun. The actual like visceral feeling of Jacqueline when she went like supernova, and that whole scene was really, really impactful. Like I had goosebumps, like telling a good story around a campfire. So that was that was really good. And just the way that all the girls tonight kind of like came together around things, and the being supportive even though you don't know what the hell's going on is really cool. So that was another big star for me, was the camaraderie.
What's neat for me watching this, because, and you know this better than anybody, Navi, that it's one thing to read a game, it's another thing to play the game, right? And one of the things I think is very interesting, and which makes this in many ways very different than a lot of other horror games that I play, is we get a beautiful period where the characters learn themselves and each other, and just the mechanics push a chemistry. And so when the horror shows up, it's not the Call of Cthulhu 4 strangers that are experiencing this horror. We've got 4 people that care a lot about each other, and we've learned about them, and it creates a whole different like feeling when the horror shows up. I think it's super interesting. How about wishes? What are you hoping for here in the next couple episodes, Navi?
I wish to not be hospitalized or jailed.
We keep dancing with it.
That's a good one.
I'm hoping to continue my streak of just dodging all those bullets.
How many crowns do you have left?
I don't. I haven't actually put on a lot of crowns. Let's see. Where are my crowns?
No, because you rolled so well.
I know I do. I roll well. I think I have a lot of crowns.
Not like the rest of us.
That's the move. How come I can't find my crowns?
If you go to description.
Description. It's hiding from me. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
God,
8, and 9 crowns left.
Beautiful. That bodes well for you. That bodes well for you. I think in these last 5 void clues before we get to the finale, we're going to be seeing a lot more crown action. So it's funny too, because again, I remember when I first read this game, I was just like, God, they get so many crowns, and these crowns are get out of jail free cards. They can put on these crowns and avoid everything. But I'm quickly seeing that you want to have a nice handful of these as we get towards the end.
And
All right.
I have that BA Baracus move, and I've been dying to use it. It just never comes up because all the weird shit happens to me, and I keep waiting for someone. You got to endanger these women for me so that I can save them.
I agree. I agree.
Oh,
Absolutely agree. All right. Shadika, thoughts, then stars and wishes.
Oh my gosh, thoughts, I'm speechless, Craig. That was amazing. I am 100% loving this story. Your storytelling is amazing.
Thank you.
Stop acting surprised. You're fantastic
You're very
every
nice.
time.
Thank you.
Every single time.
Literally. And just the pacing is wonderful. How we're all kind of interacting with each other is top notch. Like I would love to just watch us as well, but I'm a part of it, and it's like, oh crap, I gotta still pay attention.
I want to hang out with these women. I'm amazed, and it's the thing that I love the most in this hobby is when I believe the table. And God, boy, I feel like each one of these mavens have become people. People that I think we haven't fully discovered yet, but boy, oh boy, it's each one is very distinct. And it's hard to believe that 7 episodes ago they didn't exist. That's what amazes me.
Yeah. Freaking fantastic, everyone.
So did that incorporate your stars as well, or do you have additional stars?
Oh yeah, Jackie Rolls,
Yeah.
star of the show. So I don't know. In this game, I really love that somehow Jackie has defeated all odds with every role she got. And I absolutely love that, because I also love when we have to take crowns to get to know more of the character as well. But when you can just circumvent that because you're amazing, it is wonderful.
And what's cool about it is that how she's become a node now, right? Like we've been led, the fiction has been led here and has created something very distinct about her. It's super cool. And then we have Navi playing her, who leans the fuck in on it, and it's just amazing.
And I'll say side story, then I'll wrap it up. The conversations that we've had amongst players, like that connectiveness. Actually, we feel like real friends in these characters. Like we may joke and kind of crap on each other a little bit playfully, but when the time came through, we were like, "Oh, she might be snapping, but let's hear her out."
Yeah, we believe the bonds, which I think is very, very cool. Maeve, thoughts,
Yes.
stars and wishes.
There was a moment tonight where I did not, as a player, know what Maud was going to do. When Jackie had her moment and you said, what is Maud feeling? And I did not know until I opened my mouth what the response was going to be. Maud as a character has just continually surprised me, because I've gone into every game thinking, okay, this is kind of what I want to do. And then she goes somewhere else through the course of the game. And it's really interesting that that keeps happening. And I'm like, I don't know how much control over this character I actually have. It's super interesting.
Maeve, you and I have talked about this a lot. We talked about it at the campsite. We've talked about it a lot of times offline, where there's really something magical that happens between a player and the character when we allow the character to be somebody, right? And even though we might be in the driver's seat, there's forces that come into play that if you allow that character to emerge, the character starts speaking to you, and it's really special and it's really magical. And I love that you're experiencing that, because when I get to play, that's my favorite thing. Is as a player, I want to discover my character. And if I have those moments like you just talked about, Maeve, where the character starts to talk to me and says, "This is who I am," and emerges out of the fiction, it's magic. That's what it is.
It's so great. And Maud hasn't made as many roles as some of the other
Mhm.
characters. She hasn't been as forefront, and outside of the one mystery where it was kind of like her little jam with her little group of people, she hasn't really been like central to the roles and the pushing the forward, but she still feels like she's a central part of the group. And I think that's
Good.
really a really cool like dynamic. As far as wishes go, like your description of the horror that it's building in is fantastic. It's
Oh, good.
very visceral. It's very tactile. Um, it really puts you in that feel of like, oh, this is we. What did I say during the break? Like we've jumped from Jessica to Kolchak. Like we have gone into that. Like this is bad news territory. Like we are in Twin Peaks right now, and it's not
Good.
good.
And that's definitely, I think Lynch is a good touchstone for me, where I think that that's where this game like veers off and gets off the off ramp and becomes a little less Angela Lansbury and a whole lot of David Lynch. So I'm glad that that
Yeah.
vibe is coming across. That makes me happy. Last but not least, Miss Amy, thoughts,
Hi.
stars, and wishes.
I freaking love this game. That's my thoughts. It's so good. It manages to catch me by surprise all the
So
time. And it's just the things that pop up here and there. Like normally I can see a plot point coming from a mile away. We've all DM'd in some capacity, and so we can kind of see these things. This game, it just comes out of the blue. Hey, there's a rat with an eyeball in its mouth right in front of you. What? What? Okay. This lady just burst into flame and her skin melted. Okay, cool. Like, that's crazy. So I enjoy that quite a bit, that it can still manage to take me by surprise. And I've really, really enjoyed the interaction of all of these characters and how they're also completely different and
yes,
yet still like care about each other so much. And like seeing those kind of interpersonal relationships develop between all of us individually and collectively has been really something special to watch. And I'm very honored to be a part of it. And your storytelling is amazing. And I love this game. Don't end it. I want to play forever.
well, real quick, just so you know that
Okay.
you can now get both Brindlewood Bay in print now. So the Kickstarter's been fulfilled. Jason now has it. If you go to
Ooh.
the Gauntlet website, they have a partner that's printing the books, both this and the Nephews in Peril, which is a collection of murder mysteries to add to the system. So and the books are beautiful. So highly recommend it.
It's a gorgeous book. Absolutely gorgeous book.
It's wonderful. So I guess Amy, in general, what are you wishing for? What are you hoping to see here as we're now in the third act?
Oh, creepy, 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 creepy. It warms my little gothic heart that's deep down inside of there. I know that I'm always sitting here like, I love it. I love it. Just more of the creepiness. I'm here for it.
Now, we spend a lot of time on this channel featuring smaller games, right? Games that don't get enough coverage, don't get enough streams. The same is true of the podcast. I try to bring on, some of the bigger names in the industry, but I like to bring on people who've never been interviewed before to talk about their games as well. That being said, I heard a rumor that somebody had a very successful premiere of their Dungeons and Dragons actual play. Would you know anything about that?
A little bit, yeah. So I've had a podcast out for a little while now. It's done okay. My partner has been pushing me to do Twitch for a while. We managed to get it working. I had my very first stream last night, so you can find me right here on twitch.tv/Endless Night Gaming NZ. And you can find my schedule there.
And while
Watch me play games.
while I ask for other plugs, can you do me a favor, Amy, and put that in the chat so that everybody can see it?
Of course I can. Lady
Wonderful.
Jane Grey will do it. Ow. No, she won't.
All right, Maeve, what are we plugging?
We have a couple things to plug. Actually, I will let Shadika plug the second one. Because the first one is that I have my own podcast, Foxtail Games. If you go, you can find the very first season that we did of Curse of the House of Rookwood. In a couple weeks, we are going to start adding in our Geist World of Darkness actual play that we're finishing up, which is really awesome. And within the next month, we shall have a special revisit from our crew and cast of Curse of the House of Rookwood to see what happens maybe a little while later in the Rookwood family. Not gonna any spoilers, but it'll be fun.
Super excited about this. So apparently Shadika has a plug.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die now. Okay. So, as per usual, you kind of know where to find me, but brand new, and thanks to our lovely Maeve, I will be a part, and herself will be a part of Fable's cast Old Gods for Old Gods of Appalachia that can be found on Project Derailed. I'm excited, super excited, don't know what to do with myself. And if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Maeve, you can find out on all podcasts. My go-to Spotify. So check it out, Spotify. That's how I listen to it. So
And it should be out in the next couple weeks. I don't remember exactly when they said the episode 0 is going to release, but it should be very soon, and we're super excited.
Yeah, come meet our characters. They are going to be interesting.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't
Me
wait.
neither.
All right. Last but not least, Navi. Where do we get more Drake?
Lordy. I continue to be Navi from a couple of Drakes, and I don't know. I make a lot of games. You can find me at a coupledrakes.com, which will lead you to pretty much everywhere else. And yeah, check out my games just because they're fun.
We know
They're
all the big
fun.
games. Some of those big games have been played here on the channel. What is the game that makes you mad that more people don't talk about? What is a game that you and your other half have put out that you think deserves a lot more attention than it gets?
Ooh, let's see. Gotta think through all the. I know what one of my very favorite games is, and it just doesn't do well at all. And I think because it has kind of party game elements to it, it's Spirited Cafe. And Spirited Cafe, it was one of the first books that I ever laid out. So the graphics are all very beginner, and like the game, like the layout's pretty beginner, but the game is really fun and really solid. And it just doesn't, like when people play it, they love it, but nobody wants to give it the chance to play it. I keep threatening, okay, I'm going to actually put some love into this. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to make it all beautiful so that the covers sell books, right? I'm going to make it beautiful so people pay attention to it. But it's so hard to circle back to something that's been performing poorly when you have so many things that you have to keep pushing forward on. As a publisher, like I have so many other projects on my plate, it's hard for me to go back to the thing I love.
All right, so I'm sharing the link to your itch where they can pick that up, Spirited Cafe. I am embarrassed because this is my first time I've been on your itch a million times. I have not looked at this game before, but holy cow, I love the tagline. Don't burn down the kitchen and don't get eaten. That's amazing. That's absolutely $12. All right, so you're gonna get a sale tonight from me. Guys, I can't wait to play again. I think we've already got it scheduled here in just a week or two, right? We're going to try to get on a more regular schedule. I don't know how the Mavens move on. I know they will, but I I'm glad that we're going to have some time for the players to think about this, because when we get back into our Mavens' heads, what has changed, what has just happened has changed everything. And what that means, well, we're going to find out. Love y'all. Take care.
Night.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.